and welcome to the Dice Tower for our Crowdsurfing show. I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
All right, so this is the show where we take a look at crowdfunding. Okay, we're still saying hellos.
Yeah, hi.
We good?
It was Chris.
Everyone,
I was just
welcomed?
waving. I was being well behaved.
Yeah, good fuzzies. We feeling it? All
I'm good
right.
now. Go ahead.
Okay.
You have my permission to proceed, host.
Hey, you got that.
All right, so this is the show where we're going to take a look at different crowdfunding campaigns that are on. I think we're all Kickstarter this week, aren't we? Looking through it, all Kickstarter, checking my tabs. We are all Kickstarter this week. But this show is actually sponsored by BackerKit, and as you can tell, Tom is not here. Lucky for you, you still get to hear from him, though.
Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at Spirit Island Nature Incarnate. This is another project which is already finished, but you now have the opportunity to do a late pledge on BackerKit for it. So this is an expansion for the very, very popular game, Spirit Island. I know a lot of people really love this game, and this adds 8 more spirits. So if you ever played Spirit Island, you will know that one spirit is a lot. There's a whole lot of different cards and things that come with that. So they have 8 of them, 20 new aspects, and then a lot more. Especially one thing I really would get if I was backing this, in fact I did get these, are these upgraded tokens. I think they're really cool. So you can see all this here. You can get this expansion out, not just this expansion if you want. You can get sleeves, the extra tokens, and then you can also get more expansions. You can see all these different packages here, the different add-ons, getting the base game, and then a cool thing, you can get Distant Horizons if you are outside the US and aren't able to get this from like Target or anything else. So this is available right now on BackerKit. Check it out.
Spirit Island, more spirits.
That game
You
good?
love that.
I love that game. It's so good and so nature-y.
You're bringing the sponge stuff at this point.
Yeah, why are you bringing this up?
Stabbing back. That's how I do it.
That is how you play Spirit Island. You just stab back.
Just stab back. Yeah, when in doubt, stab.
Make a spirit.
Or start a fire. Yeah.
Just stab back. Just stab back.
All right, we don't have many this week, but we have some pretty good ones and some big ones. So
We do.
let's jump right in here. First up, we have Nova Roma. This is one I was really surprised that it's only sitting at 52,000.
That happened
Like,
with this
really?
designer's last game a little bit too, though.
Resurgence?
Yeah, where it
Resurgence,
was
like-
again, it's like, I know that he's striving out on his own, doing this Half a Kingdom games, I want to say, might be his company. Like, he put out that Resurgence game, and this is the follow-up to that. Not thematically or anything, just the next one.
Right.
And I feel like Resurgence didn't really do that well either, but they are interesting games. He's a very interesting designer.
They really
This
are.
this one seems neat. I'm a little. I was gonna say I'm over Roman themes. I'm not really. There's not that many of them, but I'm not that captivated by a Roman theme,
Right.
like a Senate and all those trappings. But this gameplay looks really interesting. It kind of looks like Targi. This idea of selecting a thing, and then you're picking kind of two abilities from that. You know, where like the cross section of whatever options are on the outside get triggered by that selection. Yeah, it looks really cool and interesting. And again, it's very Euro-y.
Very
It's
Euro, yeah.
you know, it's like, okay, sure, nice artwork, a lot of tokens that I can't get a grasp on, that I don't, you know, yet understand in my gut.
Right.
But the gameplay looks clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, go ahead. You're good.
I really like Resurgence. That was one of my surprises that I really enjoyed. So that's why I'm going to look deeper into this one, because I do mean Resurgence. I didn't think I'd look. I like the IP, but I watched the mechanics. I'm like, I don't know if I like it, but I really enjoyed the gameplay of that.
I hate to break it to you, but you were supposed to look deeper before we started this.
Right,
No.
that's literally your job.
But the thing is, I'm going to try it. But again, it's very Euro-y for me, so I'm not intrigued. But I like Rome, for one.
Okay.
Not the place, the more the game, the idea of it.
You don't like Rome the place?
Haven't been there.
This just in. That's right. Joey hates all Romans. No, I'm really interested in this. So the thing is that with Resurgence, I've played it a few times now. I think it's really good, but I feel like I see some of those little rough edges that come from being a first-time the Half a Kingdom is like the first time making a game on their own, right?
Right.
And so you see like certain iconography that you're like, oh, that could have been like fixed up a little bit here and there, but the game is very good. So because of how good I feel about the Resurgence game, I'm very interested in this one. Like I'm right there with you. I love spatial stuff. I'm a big Eurogame player, so I'm not put off by any part of this whatsoever. I'm just very intrigued. I finding myself really enjoying Stan's designs.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a good action selection, but then kind of managing a couple different things, going on and kind of that turn management. So yeah, I think I'm really interested in this. I don't know, I am a huge fan of the Micho's artwork, but I didn't know that I liked this as almost like too real world setting. And so I felt a little disconnected with that. And I think for me, that's kind of throwing me off. And again, I very much like his artwork, but still, I think it looks great. And
I really like that.
Try.
Oh, sorry. I really, speaking of Micho's art, I really like that board a lot.
Yeah.
And then when you see the cards, you're like, oh yeah, got it. It's the Micho.
That's what kind of throws me off. I think I was like going a little bit more, wanting something a little more real world. But
I definitely prefer his artwork when it's monsters and beasties and goblins and what have you than people. It's fine.
Yeah.
But his people end up looking like goblins and weird, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
I
of his
see that.
style. And in this one, he doesn't get away with doing that. People have to look like Romans. You know what I mean?
Or it ends up just looking like one of the West Kingdom series or something like that. It ends up looks like. I would assume if I saw this that it was part of that, and it's not. So, but anyway, that being said, all right, Nova Roma. Next up, Cozy Juicy Real.
This is some party game in which you are. It's like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Activity in a box.
Half icebreaker, half therapy.
Yeah, like read the card and be like, talk about that first time you had ice cream and what you thought and why you hated it or why you. I have negative interest in this.
I feel like I've seen this before, and also it's not something that I really like. Like I don't like that forced. I don't want to say intimacy, but those forced, comfortable conversations. And I'm like, no, if I wanted you to know that, I would have told you.
Right.
You
Truth
know,
or dare for adults. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Truth and dare for adults. That's a good way to put it. Like
it's a forced conversation starter. Part of the page at the bottom is like loved by managers at these companies, Google and Zoom and Facebook and Twitter. And I'm like, yes, that's what it feels like. It feels like forced office meeting. Yeah. The game. It's cool that these people made a game and they're putting it out there and there are people interested in it. Like I never want to just feel like we're just beating down on someone who is like making their dream game.
Right.
But this is far from my dream game. But this is my nightmare game.
It's trying to make some conversation happen over games. But the thing about games are, for me at least, that's where those conversations happen organically anyway.
Very much so.
So it's kind of forcing that situation that will happen. It's like, I want to tell these people, just play games.
Right.
You think maybe if you're playing this game, maybe in the conversation that happens naturally, you'll design a board game then? The reverse?
You could. That's very meta. All of a sudden, this is my pick of the week.
Oh my gosh.
It's not.
Well, like, I mean, I think like in the video, for example, there's one guy and he reads the question and it's like, when did you have something, a life-altering experience or something like that? And he goes off on like, well, this one time it was near death and I went out of body experience, like this whole thing. And like people are like, and giving these cards and I'm guessing it's some like voting on it, something like that. And I'm like, I mean, or like this question right here I stopped on. When's the time you've been heartbroken and the lesson you learned from it? My dog died and absolutely crushed me. And I learned animals really break your heart. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
and then after I hear that, I'm supposed to be like, thanks for sharing. Here's a token.
Right, exactly.
So you win this round. You know, it's like, no.
It's like pick of the sob story. Like, how, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just, so anyway, I think it's cool that they're venturing out and doing their thing, but I don't want to force share. No. If I do, I'll pay someone for it. You know, that's what therapy is.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Meeple Games T-shirts Season 6.
Wow.
There's a lot of...
Seasons.
There's a lot of these seasons. You know what struck me about this? And I was telling you about this when we were looking at them out there a few days ago. I feel like there's one shirt, if you go down, that has the names, the words on the shirt in the shape of a meeple.
Yeah.
So keep going. It's in there somewhere. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff.
Well, don't ruin it. I'm on season 3.
Oh man.
Jeez. Okay, here we go.
If ever
It's
there was-
coming up
It's
at
right
some
here.
stinking point.
If ever
It's
there
right
was a
here.
reason,
This is the one that.
I guess
That
there was
they will
one in just
actually-
white, and maybe you passed
Oh,
it
in
already. Maybe it was at the
white?
top.
There's
All right,
a
hold on.
lot.
Don't get dizzy. Everyone close your eyes. There we go. Oh, right here.
Yeah, that on a
Minecraft,
shirt.
Woodcraft.
I saw that. I'm going. Hold on. You're telling me it took you to season 6 to do that shirt design that literally everyone has made, and everyone who's ever made a board game apparel, piece of apparel, ever has that word cloud shirt. The only difference is this one says Arc Nova on it.
I mean, I don't know if that's. I mean, yes, I agree to your point, but I also think if these are updated names and things like that, maybe they have one already, but this one is new games. Flamecraft, Woodcraft, Arc Nova. I mean, these are newer games, and so it's like, oh, with the hotness now kind of thing. And so is it selling that? And also if they know it's going to sell, but I think that they do have some original ones as
Which
well.
ones do you like?
I really like the one he's wearing, but I don't know if it's actually for sale because I didn't see it on there. I thought that one was pretty cool. It's not opened yet, but I thought that one was really good. But then, whoa, where was it? There was a shirt, had like a green guy. Oops,
Thanks, Mike,
oops,
I will.
oops. Everybody close your eyes. This right here, I want this shirt. And that's super cute.
What is that?
I don't know, don't ask questions, I just want it.
I
Or
do
this
like-
guy, or look at this right here. Can I have that on a shirt? I think that's my problem is I'm liking the look of the page, but I'm not seeing that come through on the apparel. Like if it was this guy right here with the little
Disembodied guy
scarecrow,
and the
yeah,
little-
I would totally rock that on a shirt.
So more
I
depth
love it.
for you. Less Meeple,
And
more
that
depth.
neon green, yeah.
The ones I do like are the ones that do the whole always purple, always yellow ones. I thought those designs looked good.
I really dislike those. That's funny. I feel like I've seen those 15 times.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I like the design of these. I think the design is unique instead of just being the words.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
You guys need to play that one card game. Give your feelings.
Yeah,
How
let's
do
go
you
back
feel
to
about
let's
this?
cozy, juicy. What was it? Never mind. let's
Cozy
not.
Juicy Squeezy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. That one.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy beautiful. This I tend to like the Mr. Meeple stuff. This season particularly, I was like, it was kind of a miss, but I like all the other stuff. The socks. If you want an easy gift for me, like sure, give me Meeple socks. That's
How about
stuff like that.
neckties? How do you feel about those?
He's more
Yeah.
a bow tie guy.
You've never
Do
seen
you
me wear
wear
a bow tie.
No,
I don't think so. I've seen you in a tie.
I wore a bow tie for the Rena Knizia skit.
Oh.
I have
that counts.
one,
Gosh, I like
thankfully,
that shirt. I like that one too. All right, t-shirts. Get your t-shirts.
Get your
your
t-shirts.
Santorini Co-op and Deluxe Pantheon edition. So there's two things going on here, right? The Deluxe edition.
It's like a fancy edition of Santorini, Pantheon edition. And then the new thing, which we played live, so be aware that Mike and I played this in our spectacular that just happened. So you can check that out and actually see it being played.
Yep.
Played a couple of scenarios of it there. And it's a puzzle kind of spin on Santorini. In fact, it's kind of like a logic puzzle that you can play multiplayer with Santorini pieces. That's basically kind of what it is. The new edition of the game looks awesome. I really like this new Pantheon edition.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed here, you can see it right here, which I hadn't, it didn't click until I saw this. And I'm like, oh, wait, they've never had that before. That frame, the plastic frame
Oh,
that
yeah.
the buildings sit inside of, that's
So they lock in place, right?
yeah, they lock in
Oh, they
place.
did
That's
not do
brand
that
new.
before, did they?
No, the previous
Right.
one didn't have that.
Huh.
The
Throw it
previous
away.
one, the previous one had the mountain thing, and the green, but then you just put buildings on there like a peasant.
Okay.
Now they lock into place. You can play this in a storm.
I usually
Whoa,
don't.
reinforced Santorini.
Huh. I like.
Yeah.
This is one game that I really like. My wife does not, so it's hard to find somebody else to play it. But I just like the simplicity of this, and it was as simple, right? Because the strength of this is how simple the rules are and going
Of
forward.
the puzzle one,
Yeah.
it's
Simple.
pretty simple. It's the same ideas, and then the god cards are a big part of that. So same idea.
A lot of scenarios. I saw you bring out other minis used in different scenarios and stuff too.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
see,
that
that's nice.
Sphinx piece. There's a bunch of chapters. There's a big chart which we didn't even use, in which you unlock things as you go.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
That's what I'm
puzzles.
saying.
It's like boss battle scenarios. They were saying like you
Yeah.
do dice combat after puzzling and stuff. It sounds really intriguing.
Huh.
Santorini is one of those games that I greatly dislike. and
Really?
I'm in the minority of. I find it to be just super boring, and I'm also very bad at it because I'm not great at abstract games, but I'm kind of more interested in the puzzle part of it, honestly.
That's
feel about
where I
Rome?
was.
But
I
yeah,
thought this was
I like
interesting.
it.
Does it kind of make it? It's not legacy, but you're unlocking stuff as you
I
get
like
different
that.
goals, which is
Right.
then going to feed back into
Yeah, you
that
get-
co-op. I thought that was sorry.
It's like new gods or characters or whatever, and now you have
Interesting.
access to them for the rest of the puzzles.
That's
Got
nice.
it. But
I
you
like
could
that.
just open those.
I don't know.
No, you're not allowed to.
No, you will get electric shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
Roxley
it.
is
Seriously.
watching.
Don't do it.
All right, gamer's bag.
Finally.
Just what we needed.
A little weird, right? A little weird. This is a little late to the party. It's a good-looking bag, I thought.
It is.
But it's pricey.
Did you see the
I
price?
did- I did not.
$170?
But it comes filled with games.
No, it doesn't.
It's like,
Cover our butts in that lawsuit.
I want to make sure that it does not. No, look, it's a good-looking bag. I really like the yellow accents on it. It looks to be a good construction. There's a lot of game bags already out there. You're jumping into a very crowded market. I think this is their first Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe no, 2. Let's see. We got 2.
Whiz game.
And it's their second time running.
oh.
So they tried
Bag
it.
for
It got
gamers.
canceled.
Yeah, what they?
That looks way worse. Their redesign looks.
Much better.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, for
maybe-
one thing, there were like a bunch of pencils and stuff was kind of front and center at the top.
Yeah, that
This is the
was-
old page we're looking at, by
Right,
the way,
this
not
is
the
not
new
the-
page.
I will say I do really like. Let me go back.
Oh my!
What?
Wait, really quick, you
Does
scroll
this still
up.
do that?
They said this in the video. Expand your bag almost twice. I think they mean to almost twice the
Twice,
size.
yeah, almost, yeah.
You only do that twice. So do you want to do it now? Because you only have one more expand.
Almost one whole one left.
That being said, I mean, I think this is a very crowded market, and I think with that price, they might be pricing themselves out. I don't know how's it
Well,
doing.
they're doing well.
No,
They're
I
doing
doubt
well.
that. Never mind.
But
But I actually really like this one.
Okay.
I prefer this size of bag. I think it has a lot of little what could be gimmicks that would work for me. This is the size of bag if you are going to put it on your back that I would want to carry.
Yes.
You know, it has that right here, this pouch thing, you know, so you can put it on top of your luggage. You know, if you are traveling
Yes.
or something like that, there are little things. It has little pouches, so you can put little accessories, or you can put, you know, a set of dice, something like that. So it's not, maybe even a couple little games, so they're not moving around in your bag. I kind of like that expanding as well, you know, because you don't always need the huge bag, and it's one thing does a little bit of both. So it has a lot of features I like. For me personally, I think that 170 just puts it out of what I would pay, unfortunately.
I looked at this. I saw like the inside has all these little pockets on the inside of the cover. And I like that idea, but then I'm like, that's just more pockets to forget where I put something. I don't normally have that many little things to take with me to all these game days.
I think if you're
Except for drawings,
traveling,
markers.
and this is, I think, maybe what you're picking up on. I think if you're traveling with a bag, and I don't mean like necessarily jumping on a plane or whatever, but just going somewhere, and you want to take the normal things you'd want to take, like your laptop and your headphones and your whatever, and some games, this is an all-in-one for that.
Yeah.
Because they show like somebody sticking a laptop in there, and like you said, all those pockets are going to allow you to like, oh, here's a charger
Right.
for my phone, here's a whatever. So that's cool. I like that a lot. Again, but as an all-in-one, I don't need that category.
And that
I
price
guess.
point.
Yeah.
Again, but I mean, like if I'm going to a lot of little conventions where they don't have access to a library, like Dice Tower East where we have the library, I don't take games, you know.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to little conventions or my weekend getaways with my girlfriends, things like that, like this is the kind of thing I would take. And so I think at least it's different, you know, and maybe that's why it's doing so well, because it is.
And if I
Making a
were to
point.
back this, which I'm not because the price is astonishingly high, but they have like for every early bird versus regular option, whatever, they always have like a $10 higher option that comes with a few accessories. And usually I look at those things and I'm like, that's not $10. But it comes with like 10 of those box bands like we have at the library.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was really impressive. So I thought like, oh yeah.
That's nice.
Do the $10 extra thing if you're going to get this, and get some of those accessories. I like those a lot. When you throw games in your bag and it's not perfectly tight,
I would
it'll
forget
keep
that.
your
Absolutely.
stuff from flying everywhere, like
Yeah.
Joey when he brought back that game that he took for the weekend, and all the cards were everywhere.
That was
Trying
exciting.
to find it. Where,
Thanks,
where are
Joey.
you talking about? I'm still
I think it was
looking.
above those dice. I saw it above the dice
Ooh,
thing.
these
Oh,
are
those
pretty.
are cool
Those
colors.
are pretty.
But the best part is putting the
Ooh,
credit card
ooh.
into that strap, and tell me I'm going to remember where I stuck my
You're
credit
talking
card.
about a girl that carries a
That's
purse, because
like-
I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely, I love that. I miss my little one-shoulder backpack when I had that stuff right there. Like, yep, I'm the person that's for.
I will immediately forget
Nope.
that.
No. All right, Waterloo, Solitaire.
Waterloo.
This is not my wheelhouse,
'Cause you have no
so
friends.
anybody other than me?
I'm kind of interested in this one. I mean, it's a game that's been around before, but I guess it came in a book format, and it's funny, not coming from a wargaming background. Anytime that a company says like mounted board,
Yeah.
I get a chuckle because I know that that's not always a thing. People own plexiglass to flatten their maps for a reason, but it's
Right.
just coming from the board gaming background. That sounds like, isn't that standard? No, it's not necessarily. This sounds kind of neat. You just play in like 15, 20-minute little sessions, and then there's a kind of a whole overarching thing to it. I like very simple kind of war games like this more often. This one looks a little bit more bland than what
Yeah.
I'm typically
I mean,
going to go into.
Yeah, like, I mean, oof.
Right.
I don't see bland.
But it is a proven thing, like you're saying. It's not a brand new war game. It's something that's being reprinted, re-offered. I am
In a nicer
curious.
format.
I love it.
Yeah. Thinking of that now, what I just said, I do wonder how many new war games versus reprints of established war games are on crowdsurfing,
We're gonna look-
crowdfunding.
We're going to look at one later that is the third in a system of games.
Yeah.
And so you see that a lot. This is a proven system. Here's a new setting, some new history and stuff to look
Yeah.
at. So I don't know. I
I wonder. I feel like
It's
that's a very
doing-
small part of the wargaming. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not in the wargaming hobby, but yeah, it just seems like a lot of war games that are featured on Kickstarter, GameFound, that sort of place is they tend to be, we're bringing this back. We're reworking this classic. We are whatever. There's not a lot of like, this is a brand new war game. We're not going to show you an old one because it doesn't exist, kind of
You
thing.
need more wars. Get more games.
I did not say that. Nope. Next up,
But really, it's funny. This intrigued me only because Waterloo I know nothing about. So battles like that, for some reason, they intrigue me more than ones I know about. Like, I have no idea about Waterloo. So that actually intrigued me. It's like, okay. And the Solitaire thing. Because it's hard for me to find someone that would play this style of game with me. So I think Solitaire is the only way to end up playing it.
Okay.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Board Game Collection 2.
2, the sequel.
Yeah.
So this is for STLs.
That took me a long time to figure that out.
Because they
Absolutely.
don't look like.
Yeah, it doesn't look
From
like
here,
that's what it
right?
is. And if you look at all the pictures, they're clearly renders. They also look like wood in the renders.
Well,
They look really good as renders.
Come on.
so these are clearly renders, but he does explain his process of in here is how he paints them with wood textures and things like that to make them look. So, but I wish that we could see that because he does show them 3D printed, but not
Yeah.
his finished product.
Right, exactly. I do think it's kind of weird. When I looked at this, it was at least 2 days ago now. And the funding goal is $249. That's what this person wanted. So they're funding pretty
Right.
much no matter what.
Barely, though. You see that?
But when I looked at it, there were 5 people backing it, and it was at $249 on the nose.
Oh.
It still is. Exactly. That's kind of weird. Isn't that kind of weird?
That's...
You know,
I don't think I've ever seen a game, a project of any kind, actually,
No.
hit the funding goal, stop for a solid day, and sit there
yeah, that
at the
is.
funding goal. Not a buck above. Not one more person jumped on. That's very strange to me.
Update is goal
Yeah.
reached.
I
You gonna back it right
No, I don't want to give feedback. You don't want my feedback.
Wow. Pick of the week.
Yeah, I didn't mean the project. I didn't kick. Never mind.
That font right
Oof,
there, though.
Yeah.
that's why I glossed over the fact that these were STLs.
You don't like the shadow on that?
It's just, come on, man. I worry when you're offering something where like 50% of that thing is the aesthetics,
Yeah.
and you picked that font, I worry. I'm sorry. I worry about your aesthetic Values? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? This is what you're offering is a purely aesthetic STL design.
Right.
But you thought this looked good, this font.
Someone who, okay, really quick stop. Can you scroll back up just to
Yep. How far?
down just a little bit more to that giant Gobon?
Did we cover that game? Okay, what? Gobon.
Right
Got
there,
it.
yeah, right.
What?
I don't know much about 3D printing.
What'd you call it? Gobon?
That's the name of the board for Go, I think is the term. So that is
Learned something.
that is an end table. Would that be difficult to 3D print?
Difficult? Depends on the size of your print. I mean, it'd be a long print.
You would need like a big printer
Yeah.
though, right? Like your average
Yeah.
3D printer is not going to print.
This
This,
is an
right?
end table. It's not like a little tabletop,
It,
like off. We don't know. I guess it depends on.
Go boards are not that small.
A lot
Yeah,
of
you're
questions.
right. They are.
Weird.
I mean, this
wait.
here-
Is my man printing dominoes? I
Yay,
missed this.
Hey-o.
Yo.
Yep.
No, dude.
Yeah.
No, dude.
You are right. Looking at this, there's no way you would know these are 3D printing files.
Right.
Because
And it keeps
it's
going.
like
We're not there
they
yet.
look metal.
There
they look,
we go.
I'm actually impressed by the amount of stuff that he
I am too.
has.
For
Like
the price too.
when I was scrolling
Yeah.
down, it just kept going. I thought this is really neat. Maybe it's on me for not realizing these are 3D print STL files.
Sure.
But I see why it's at $249. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And exactly at 240.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the comments, I feel like donating $1 just to mess with Z.
I feel that most people will get this will print like 2 of these games.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really does kind of feel like, oh, something for everybody, and maybe it's the Go, maybe it's the Moncala, but I don't know. I have concerns of the joints. Again, I said this before. I really like that he goes through this and puts the print settings, gives his
like that.
recommendations. I really like this. But again, show me some examples or give me an example STL of your work that I can download and try. Something
Yeah.
that's going to have, again, that Mancala board had that joint. I want to see that. Show me how you do that. Prove you can do it.
Give me one domino.
No, that's not what I want.
All right.
All right, Fractured Sky, coming to you from IV Games. Also played during the Summer Spectacular. Winter. Where are we at? Spring.
That's the one.
Nailed it.
She was so close.
Not the autumn. It was definitely not the autumn one.
Nailed it. There's only 3 seasons you could guess between, and you did it.
I did it. I got it eventually. Yeah, so Fractured Sky, like I said, coming to you from IV Studios. You and Tom went up and played this as well.
Yeah, and you guys played here in the studio, so it's it's kind of an area control kind of deduction, reading the other players, sending these airships, these really cool, and if you get the deluxe edition here is like awesome looking magnets and ships and the whole shebang, sending these things out to different regions, trying to control that region with your strength.
That's cool.
And earning shards, like sky shards or something. That's the idea. So there's a lot of sort of interconnected parts here. Mm-hmm. You know, the idea of there's resource management that comes into play. Whenever you don't win one of those shards, you instead get resources. Mm-hmm. You turn around and spend those resources to put out smaller influence ships that affect various places, or maybe like a resource generator which speeds up that engine, or what have you. So there's sort of, if you're doing that, you're not winning, but you're shoring up your defenses and hoping that you can turn that around and possibly win. It's a low scoring game. A winning score is like between 6 and 11 or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like our game in the Spectacular was pretty high scoring, actually.
What did it go to?
And it was like 9 to 11 or something. You know what I mean? And that was like, I felt, some of us only got 3, but,
that checks
that's
out.
fine.
That checks out.
Have you played? You've played Aladdin's Dragons, right?
Yes.
Is that a comparable thing with the airship bidding?
A little bit. A little bit.
I might really like this. Because I like the sound of what's going on. I was running the stream when you guys were playing it during the Spectacular a few days ago. And I thought, I could see this going either way for me. Like, I could be really into this because I love the idea of, like, I don't know what value ship you put out there, but there's like a little bit of information you can kind of glean from some of them. So do I commit like a really big ship? Do I go all in on it, or are you kind of bluffing me? I'm not sure. Overproduction like this doesn't impress me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care that the airships are all different between different factions. That's really cool, but like that's not what I care about. I care at the end of the day, like, am I going to have fun with this game? Nice production is always just a boon, but like, to be clear, this is really nice production.
Yeah.
I care about the production above everything else. You haven't felt these ships click their little magnet wheels.
Oh my gosh, you want to see the
and go
GIF again?
click,
Oh, it's
and
so
then you put it out. Once you feel that, you're not going to care about. You're going to be like Steffenfeld. Who? Give me more magnets.
Yeah.
I love
But you
it.
can't feel it though. You can't feel it.
I
Okay,
can
all right.
emotionally
Maybe.
feel it.
Okay, all right. Let's
So
move
good. One
on.
more time. I love
Okay,
it. I love
let's
it.
move
look
on.
good.
Next up we have, so this is the one you were talking about, right, Chris? The Western Front Ace.
Yeah, this is like the third in a line of games that all use the very same core system. Also Solitaire, and it says it comes in 15-minute sorties, which I had to look up what that meant. So basically like 15-minute individual sessions of it, and you can play a bunch of sessions as like one play, and pack it up and then continue from there.
Interesting. That's a new one for me.
I like
That's an interesting idea. I do love, again, one of those things that war games do. This idea of how, like they'll assign a number or a word to complexity, and they'll assign a whatever. I love it when a game is solitaire, and you only see this in war games. And then it has like solitaire suitability high.
Yeah,
like, it's only
Hopefully.
solitaire.
Hopefully.
It's kind of crazy to me that that's a thing. It cracks me up. Again, it's one of those things.
Yeah, no, I saw that too. That, really made me crack up.
And I get that, because I asked someone about it, and they said, well, there are plenty of like two-player only war games that people will just sit and play both sides. So solo suitability, kind of high for something like that. Like, okay, I can do that with any of my games.
Sure.
Like, I could play Aladdin's Dragons by myself. I could play Fractured Sky by myself, but it's going to be really weird.
Right.
But so I get it. But no, this one sounds. It says it's simple. I don't know if I
Yeah.
believe it.
I think, in my opinion, this one looks more bland than the other one we looked at.
I agree.
Yeah.
It also looks more fiddly than the other one we looked at, than Waterloo.
Yes.
It's Compass game, so if you're a war gamer, you know what you're getting. There is a track record there. They've done, 61 of these?
I think it was
just saw.
61.
So,
They deliver fast. I think this is supposed to be delivered by like.
Tomorrow?
I think like end of
Soon.
summer.
July.
it's very
July,
crazy.
Yeah. That's awesome. If you love this
Well,
company,
that's for an early copy.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. PaintPal. So again, another 3D printing project. So this is for the STLs.
Joey?
This one,
You were so agonized over this.
I went back and forth. Initially, I moved
Have you decided?
on. Spoiler.
So you are back and forth, not were.
I am back and forth on it, because the thing is, there are so many of these on the internet where you can get different STLs to make holders, or you can get things like nail polish holders, which we use. I think you do too.
I do as well.
You have the acrylic ones on Amazon to store your paints. So there's a lot of options out there that are free, like that option. Those are everywhere. However, what this does do is it gives you more. Yeah, that's the way it looks sometimes.
I do love that before and after is a little, come on. It's like, has this ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. If your station looks like that,
It's never going to look like the bottom
You're
one.
not painting.
No, that's.
Yeah.
But the bottom one, I do like how it has the drawers underneath it to store.
Yeah.
That, but is that itself worth it, or you can put a shelf up? I don't know. For me, this is probably one I probably will back, but I back too many STLs and print too few of them, so I don't know if it's going to make it or
Yeah,
not.
I think that's a good point, because you can go to Thingiverse now and get any number of STLs for the paint pots and for that kind of, ones that are specific. You can get corner ones that are rounded, that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
And it really is, I think, the drawers that kind of...
The drawer set it apart.
Yeah, it kind of sets it
And we looked
apart.
to see if that was out there anywhere, and it's not really, as far as getting
Right.
those.
Yeah.
There are ways around it, like getting a shelf, say on top of the shelf, you have the shelf.
Yeah. As well as I think this double system he has right here, where it's the paint pot, right? But then it has that, I don't know if you can see it up there, but the smaller ring. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's both. You know, if you have a smaller bottle, it fits and it'll go all the way down. If it's a paint pot, it just sits on that lip.
Oh, okay.
And so if I'm understanding correctly, it's kind of that those are...
Because you've got like Vallejo, Citadel, even the Apple Barrel if you use terrain, and everything in different size.
Right. And again, so that's my assumption based on what I'm seeing here.
Did you say apple barrel?
That's
Apple
cheap
barrel.
stuff for
I don't
terrain.
use apple barrel.
For terrain, I
What
don't
is
either.
Apple barrel.
Well, for terrain. That's
I mean,
like
I know what an apple barrel
It's what you
is.
shoot fish in.
It's the, it's the 99-cent paints that you get from everywhere. You know, just the cheap acrylic paints.
Yeah, because if you're going to paint like a lot of like terrain and stuff for stuff, you're not going to use your knife.
If I'm doing like a 3D printed, you know, terrain, something like that, absolutely, because that PLA, that plastic just sucks up the paint completely, especially all the little ridges and everything. And so you're gonna, I mean, I would not use my good paints on, like you said, terrain. That's not going to matter. Something STL, something like that. I'm using the apple barrel.
But the bad thing is, this is not necessary. So it's like, is it worth getting? I don't know.
It is interesting too. We
Why
never
is it
see it
high?
assembled without the drawers either, because I wanted to see what it looked like.
Yeah.
We never see it. So
I feel like
yeah.
every time I see 3D printing project, and this is just a me thing, I think this project sounds really cool and everything. Every time I see 3D printing projects like this, I think, I missed the train on that, and the train just keeps getting further and further away from me at this point.
I feel the same way in many ways.
I don't know. I actually think I see why you would feel that way.
Yeah.
But I think actually it's becoming more and more accessible because more and more people are making the STLs. You're not having to design. I think there was Thingiverse didn't have as much stuff on it, and that's the only one that's coming to my mind. But there's lots of these sites that you can go and get STLs. And so before, if you wanted something, you had to, you know, learn CAD and design it and try to figure it out and fiddle it yourself. Enough people are into it now that it's a little more plug and play. You can, I have a printer, cool, I know enough about the printer, I know nothing about CAD, that's okay, I can buy this STL and make it work.
It's like Mario Maker. I don't need to make the levels anymore. Other people make the levels,
Mario makes
and I
it
can
for
just
me.
play them.
I am curious on this.
Back me up on this.
I'm curious on this, like the print plays, how many people, percentage, ever actually print the majority of their STLs? You know, very small.
27%.
The same percent that paint all their
7%.
minis and play all the games on their shelf machine.
Yeah.
Same
That's a good
percent
point.
that knows what an apple barrel is.
You shoot fish in it, apparently.
I am interested in
Every
this,
time I
man.
see one of these 3D printed things,
Yep.
See that.
especially this one did it, but like the table did it, it blows my mind how big this stuff is. I'm like, who does this? I've seen you print stuff, and it's like a little thing takes a while.
It does.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. What if it fails when it's almost done?
It's bad.
I'm done. At that point, I'm like, no. I'm done doing this. I'm done backing these. I'm throwing this printer out.
I think most people that are this invested in printing this size of stuff have 2 or 3 printers. Joey, how many do you have?
It's not important. I've probably got 5, I think. But it's
5 3D printers?
Right, and that's not uncommon. I don't mean to
15D.
call him out. But
Do they?
No,
are you
I'll
worried
work-
that eventually
no.
they'll start printing each other?
they're going to kick me out of the house and start
Are you
creating.
worried about that? Like you
start-
come home
they
one
start
day and there's a
combining.
new 3D print and you're like, I never purchased that one. You go up to it and you're like, it's 3D printed. You look closer, you can see the ridges. And maybe then the next version you can't see the ridges anymore. Maybe it wakes you up in that and goes, would you like me to print you a new blankie? You never worry about these things? Is that just
I
me?
do.
you do now.
Well, now with
It's not-
AI, I
you
do,
have
yeah.
to. We're all
can't-
worried.
When they start combining into a mega Voltron and start walking around your house, give me a call. I want to see that.
You're getting 3D printers confused with ChatGPT.
I do
but
print a lot
that's
of
all right.
batarangs, by the way. That is my go-to. Thanks, Mike. Throw me out on that.
75.
What did Mike say?
Joey has 3D printed 75 batarangs at the studio.
That is 100% true.
100%.
It's the easiest thing to print.
He keeps testing the 3D printer by printing a batarang.
We all have
If you could
7.
combine these things into somehow an object that holds your paints.
What do you print? I just print batarangs.
Batarangs, that's it. Why? Because the frog failed. So,
True.
true story. All right. Reason for the season.
Yeah.
This is going to be a take that different card game, right? Like last man standing kind of
Yep.
thing. But in this realm or whatever, it's not last man standing, it's last season standing. You're trying to outdo Christmas, which is the favored season.
Oh, we love that.
You're back in it again.
Yeah, again, right? There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that illustration right there.
That is so cute.
That is my
I do
favorite
like it.
thing about this whole thing. E Honda's like 1,000, palm punch or whatever, and then it's downhill.
Yeah,
It looks so Kickstarter take that game. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to put that.
Yeah,
If you show me these pictures, I don't care what context it's in, I'm like, oh, a Kickstarter take that game.
yeah.
Like every other one. They go up in quality of artwork and they go down in quality of artwork.
So if you
That's
see-
it.
If you
The
see that on the
games.
table, you would think I played that. Pretty much.
No.
I mean, I think if I saw someone playing it, it's very similar. Maybe I didn't see the artwork and stuff, but I don't know. For me, it seems like you said it's like every other take that, but I mean, I'll take it. It's also so much. It's like a stripped down. Not LCG, TCG, like a trading card game. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
sure.
It's like minus all the symbology, and it's like those already have to be so different or spectacular to interest me. You know,
Right.
I mean, the only one I can think of that I really enjoy is Radlands. Other than that, I'm pretty uninterested in them, and so it's like take that and strip it down, and I'm like, it's. Yeah,
terrible.
I really like that though.
I don't know if I would
love
compare
that.
this to. I don't know if I would say this is a stripped down TCG. It's more like a sideways step from Exploding Kittens.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what
I
it
don't know.
is.
No, the way your cards either attack or defend. I mean that's pretty much what you're doing. You're either attacking people or you're setting stuff up to combo and to defend. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
So-
I find it to be again. And there's so many of those kinds of games now too. That this basically takes that humor, that like, ha ha ha, you're gonna hate your friends, and gives it artwork that's fun and funny. And I'm assuming the not safe for work expansion is in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Same stuff, you know. It's just the same stuff every time.
Oh, Joey, your mic is messed up.
Uh-oh.
Joey, come on, cat.
Joey.
Hold on.
It either
Oh my
died or
gosh.
got muted.
Is it muted?
Off. No, it's off.
Did it die?
go.
Did you kill it?
I didn't kill it. Oh.
Yeah, you need more batteries.
You
I need
kill
more
it.
batteries.
Battery break.
I got you.
All right, well,
Talk amongst
bye.
yourselves.
Bye.
All right, so anyway, now
Yeah.
that Joey's not here, this is the kind of game he would enjoy. He'd sit there like
Let
an
me tell
idiot
you.
thinking about batarangs, thinking about how he wants to print more batarangs.
Joey loves playing Cupid in any game possible, which actually that might be the truest thing that is being said about him at the moment.
That's probably true. I played Hiroshima Hex with Joey, and he played Cupid.
Yeah, how'd that go for him?
I loved it.
Go for him.
Get it? Cupid?
Love.
Oh, that was fun. Is
Let's
Joey
move
back
on.
with
Can we
us? All
possibly move
hold
on?
And those
You're
are my
also
final thoughts on this
kicking
game.
that. There we go. All right. All right, next up we have Flutter. This is coming from, real quick, this is Phase Shift, right? Yeah, with Phase Shift here, which was, I think, surprising to me. I definitely think of them as Drop Drive and,
I know,
you know,
I clicked on
Yeah,
who
Dungeon
did it.
Drop.
I went and looked at
Yeah.
who did it. I'm like, oh, it's these people.
right.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
This
this.
is really interesting, I thought, coming
Me
from
too.
them. Yes, this is going to be a tile placement, maybe kind of resource management is kind of what the vibe I was getting, you know, where you're trying to position the different tiles out to make patterns in the flowers and build out the tableau. So, very family friendly, we said.
Yeah, that's
We said
Mark
Mark,
Street's
right? Yeah,
quote. I
just
thought
funny
that was
that it
very
wasn't
funny. That seems like a weird quote. I don't know. That's neither a positive nor a negative quote. You're literally just saying it's very family friendly. I could have written like not lewd.
Right.
That's the same quote.
Tile placement game.
He has a slightly better one
He
further
does, yeah,
down,
I know
which
he
is
does.
funny.
We're
That
just
was like,
making.
No,
I love
yeah,
this.
What's the better word?
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
I
this
agree.
right here. I love it. If you're gonna make me choose different tiles, oh my gosh, it's reminiscent of
Planet Unknown.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oof, I love that.
Gameplay's different, I think.
Yeah, a lot different, yes. But no, I
no, that
really
looks
like
Butterfly
that.
Unknown.
Are you guys feeling the gameplay on this one?
I don't know. I'm feeling the animation. That really, I don't know. Watching that just makes me want to.
I love animation. Whenever they do this, it explains so much more than a paragraph of text.
Yeah.
And I think you asked, are we feeling this? I'm not, but I don't love necessarily the pattern building is not usually my thing. But I think given this, because of the way it's laid out, like I would try this. You know, I think it's because I'm walking away understanding what I'm getting into, what's coming. So I think it's a very, very well done page that leads me to, yes, I'll try it. And if someone explained this to me, I'd be like, no, I'm good.
Okay. I guess I would rather not try it.
Okay. Wow, we're like opposite on everything today.
Like all things being equal,
so
I would rather not try it than try it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It doesn't. It's not appealing to me. It's not grabbing
quote.
me.
We're still on the quote.
It's very family friendly. I'll say that. You can quote me on that.
The only thing I didn't look into is like what exactly is the rondel part of it, like at what, and that's on me for not reading into it a little bit further. But like it seems fine. Like tile laying games, I enjoy that mechanism generally speaking.
Yes,
So I'm at the point where I would try this, and I agree with you that this page is laid out very well. I could scroll right by it and be like, got it. I'm immediately interested because I like tile laying, or and I like this theme, or I could just say like, it doesn't look like my bag.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I do like the weird shapes, though. I like that.
I do too.
I thought that the mechanism, for, if I was understanding it correctly, like your tile building, and so as you're building it out, if you match the flower, you get the resource. If it doesn't match, you have to pay it. And so I thought that was interesting as well, because it's not just like, oh, I need this resource, how do I get it? You're also having to manage that portion to make sure. So I thought that was, me personally, I'm like, whoo, AP, hold on. I've got way too many options to look and try and take in here. But at the same time, I'm willing to try it.
Right.
And so for something that I think is typically not what I'd be drawn to. So Flutter. It's also a huge home run.
That's my quote. That's my quote. I'm just going to change.
It's going to replace.
Like, I'm going to give every game that wants a
things
quote,
being
I'm going to give them that quote, or the opposite, which is all things being equal, I'd rather play this game.
Oh my God.
It'll be one of those two quotes.
You're just gonna have a canned, Gmail response. We canned response, and
Yes, you
not
can quote
is in
me.
bold, so you just either unbold it or delete it.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
On or off, yeah.
All right, our last game project here is Crime Unfolds. Yep, I need to refresh real quick.
Key Enigma. Crime Unfolds. Pop-up mystery escape game. Rated PG-13.
Family friendly.
Oh, why
for
didn't it
everyone,
reload?
most
What happened?
family-friendly escape room you've
It's
ever
still
seen.
thinking. All right.
Presuming
Have
en
we
español.
played any of these? I know Tom is really into these. Do you know if
Played
he's done any of these? The what?
The shivers or shivers?
Okay.
Shivers, yeah.
I thought we
I
needed
feel
to
like
bleep you.
Tom might have messed with some of these earlier ones.
That's what I was
If
thinking.
not, we've certainly covered that one, the bad font one.
This one?
Which one?
That one, yes.
Yeah.
The bad font.
Yeah, I think I remember.
You knew
Maybe that's
exactly what I
I'm
meant.
thinking.
See, that's how you
yeah.
test it.
I'm going to quote you on
Got
that.
it.
All things being equal,
Oh my gosh.
no, I'm not a big fan. I like escape room games a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoy them quite a bit. I'm not as big a fan of the get a bag of random crap and sort it, and there's a puzzle in there somewhere, we promise. I'm not as big a fan of that.
Agreed.
Do you think that's what this is? Is that
Yeah,
what
it
you
is.
got?
Like eventually there's like, here's a sack of stuff.
But I think that was more kind of like the exits, where you get all the components and just set them aside, right? Until the book leads you to something?
Maybe.
That was
But I don't know what it is. I'm just not as big a fan of that. It gets maybe too close to a real
there
escape
it
room,
is.
and I'm like, oh, now I'm just sad I can't go to a real escape room. You know what I mean? Like, if you send me a lock, if one of the things is a physical lock, I'm just like, A, you shipped this to me? This is crazy. And B, I'm like, I just want to go to a real escape room. And they do these things sometimes where it's like, here's a newspaper clipping, and it looks legit, and here's a lock, and it's a real lock, and whatever. So I'm not as big a fan of that. I like the idea of escape room games. There's a lot of them. It's also, you have to know, and again, this is the kind of thing where, have I tried other escape rooms from this company? Do they know what they're doing when it comes to creating puzzles and mystery and what have you? You know what I mean? I'm assuming they've done it a few times and then that they're good. I don't know, but
The
911.
thing I would say that maybe is a positive on this one is you saw people like physically interacting with the 3D pop-up stuff. So maybe that'll help break that. Yay! I have a bag of stuff, but like I wish I was in an escape room. Being able to actually like go through the pop-up things and be like, I'm going to spend like a time unit or whatever and like look in the drawers or. That's like the fun stuff of going to an actual escape room.
Yeah.
So
That
maybe
tactile experience.
Yeah, that's the 3D stuff. I love the idea of. The reality, for some reason, always falls short. Whether or not it's the price tag, which is really high for this, or
72.
they don't work a lot. So I love the idea, and to find one that works would be great. But I haven't yet.
I'd rather just play an exit game or an
I would
unlock.
too. Well, yeah, that's
It's
the thing.
not the same immersion. I get that, but I know that.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
card game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or I can spend the 70 and go to an escape room.
Well, you
Yeah.
buy 7 unlocks.
I really like actually the pop-up. You're going to have something that you're interacting with. I like a lot of what we're seeing here. What I don't like for me is in the video where you see them, you're chatting with people. So you're going to a fake website they designed with this and sending fake text messages to somebody. You might get a phone number you actually have to call. I don't want that kind of stuff. I mean, in fact, I played one recently that then got a phone number that I had to call to verify if I had the right answer or whatever. And that phone number was like no longer supported, and that was like, it just like killed the whole experience. It's like, okay, well, cool. I just wasted 45 minutes because I called the number 6 times just to go to BGG to find out, you know what I mean? It was just like, and so I just have concerns about that, about this support. I think this might be web-based, but again, still, it's just like, unfortunately, that experience kind of killed this for me,
And it's just kind of creepy, honestly. When they're like, oh, we're going to send you a text message. And like that whole Catch a Killer monthly subscription thing. Yeah, sorry, no, that's creepy. I don't want to be getting text messages about like
Killers
or anything, or being like, go to this website, put in the thing, watch out for the whatever. We're going to, no, I saw that movie, The Game. I'm not interested.
It's a good movie, though.
All
I've only
right.
played the game.
That should have been in that movie.
Much
All right, well,
better.
that is
97.
our projects here. Before we get to the non-game projects, we're going to hear from Mark
Streed? Okay.
This spotlight is brought to you by Lighthouse Board Games, bringing you the 18 Hex Games collection. A collection of challenging fillers, compact games in a hexagonal box format, and 18 tiles. Easy enough to learn in 1 minute, deep enough to play for hours. 6 new titles with different challenges for each situation. A project that arises from a collaboration environment with various authors, artists, and designers, and which aims to lay the foundations of the new format of fast and innovative games that rack your brain, and this is only the beginning. Hextraderma is an addictive tile placement solitaire game, a strategic challenge without a timer, perfect for your time alone after work. Pantheon is a tile-placing mythological duel for 1 to 2 people. Only one culture will prevail in this war of titans, a tug-of-war of Olympian magnitudes, ideal for board gaming couples. ISO is a 3-dimensional structure building game in isometric perspective for 1 to 3 people. Expand your space vision beyond the limitations imposed by the 2 dimensions to win this innovative challenge. Flippa is a fun word game for 1 to 12 people. Plan your way across the board to form the longest word and show off your vocabulary in your new favorite word-making game. Yin Yang is a majority control game for 2 people, a pocket abstract with constant tug-of-war for the control over 5 elements and the balance of the 3 pures. Q Memory is a challenging memory game in a compact format and multiple game modes for 1 to 6 people. These 6 games offer so many ways to play with unique and engaging game styles. For more information, please check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
All right, jumping into our non-gaming projects,
What do
we
we
have
got?
a couple good ones this
Let's
week.
go.
Oh,
This
I
is
need
not
something
one
good.
of them. Oh my gosh, I hate this so much. I
This
despise
is
it.
great.
Look at this. Look at the nail right there. Like, what happened to her nail bed in all of these pictures?
They're all like incredibly weirdly fake. Like,
Yeah.
They're clearly like glue-on ones that are like 3 sizes too big.
Yeah.
Right.
I showed
right
this to
here.
Wendy. I was like, please tell me I'm not like wrong in thinking that these look hideous.
Right, but it has to be like some sort of soft plastic, like a sticker or something, because see the angle of that? It like swoops down and then comes back up, right
I
there.
love that this rendering, by the way, of them painting this thing on, which is again clearly fake. They show this like 5 times throughout this page.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
With a different image, but
Yep.
they keep showing that same fake render. You know, if this takes 10 seconds, why don't you have a video up there where somebody sticks their nail
Right.
in it and
Show me an actual.
and then it's done. Like,
Right.
show me that.
Yeah. So I think this is really cool. This is a
There
really
it
good
is.
idea doing it, but this looks awful. I hate everything about this.
I think
So bad.
they chose poor pictures and stuff, and then like the designs, like when you scroll like way to the bottom of the page, they have a couple of like flowery designs that look like things that people might actually get.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Instead of like Ronaldo. I have Ronaldo on all my nails now.
Right, but
What
again,
is that?
like
Yeah.
what are these? It almost looks like they're photoshopped on, or they're just going all the way down to the first knuckle. Like what is this?
Oh my.
Right?
It's definitely, I'm assuming, painted on or whatever and then glued to her hand.
I will
love
tell
how
you,
this one's too small and this one's too big. This is fantastic.
Okay, Goldilocks.
we do.
Oh my gosh.
We do have a nail printer at our house for a little Barbie nail printer. Quality's not here, by the way,
Oh really?
but it's like $50 or something, and I don't know. She's scared to stick her fingers in it, but it's
Have
just.
you tried it?
No.
Didn't you do your homework?
I
Again,
did.
this is your job.
My
I
wife
need
has
you to
tried it
go.
before. It's just like I think there's a thing gets drawn on there. It's really rough, but
Right.
it's.
I mean, I think these are cool, and I've heard about things like this. Oh my gosh, I love that one. Anyway, but
Someone's
They keep
but
showing
this
the
is
worst
so
thing.
Yeah, that's the
bad.
thing.
Why do they keep
So
showing
bad.
the worst possible?
Right.
Nobody's buying this for
No.
these pictures you keep showing.
Right, that's the thing. This is a neat idea, man. Then show me actually at work something that I want. I don't know, put a butterfly on it. I don't
Something
want a butterfly, but at
elegant.
least I would
Yeah.
understand.
Anything
yeah,
elegant.
Literally anything. Give me a geometric shape, I'll be happy.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
I love how sharp the nails are. By the way, that's like, whew.
Well, that's not the machine's fault.
No, I know.
I really like the fact that yellow machine, the actual machine, I like from the very beginning to the next time they show it to you to the next time, I have a very hard time visualizing how big this
That's
thing
what I was
is.
wondering too.
Like at the beginning,
Right
I'm
there?
like, oh, it's like a little toaster.
It's right here.
And then it's like, oh wait, it's the size of a cooler actually. I'm like, no, wait, it's shrunk again. You know what I mean? It keeps being different.
I thought like the size of a fidget cube. You keep in your pocket. Nail needs to be redone.
Thought it was
You know?
tiny at first.
That would
Oh.
be great.
I didn't even think about the ink cartridge because then you also have to have the upkeep on this specific
Oh, you-
model. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Are we calling this photo therapy? Go
is
back
that?
up one
What?
little bit, right there. We're calling this nail photo therapy.
this therapy has the
no,
opposite effect on me.
that's
Then
not. You
This
don't get
is-
away with calling it photo therapy.
it's photos that make you need therapy.
I am
Yeah.
calmed by 10 images of Ronaldo.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
All right, so no go. Next
No.
up. Z has 3 of these on the way already. He doesn't know it yet,
yeah,
but, it's
you know I
happening.
do. And they're coming out with a beard attachment. Where you
It's
can attach it. So
fantastic.
basically, what this is meant to
Oh.
do, folks. So right here, when you go down just a little bit, it says, "What is it?" 3 question marks. Still 2 of them. I'm sorry. Well, it's a rubberized, I don't know, top you put on a glass, and you drink from said
It's
glass
fantastic.
to keep your mustache from being contaminated with the liquid therein.
Who's drinking
I
out
love
of
the measuring cup.
measuring cup?
You know, like after you pour out the cream, you're like, oh, a little bit more left. Hold up. Like
A little gravy for the turkey,
Little
a little
gravy
gravy for me.
for me.
A little
Right,
gravy for
yeah,
the
you know?
turkey.
Go back up to the video and watch the like around a minute.
All right, hold on. Let me
15 or
turn my
so.
sound off here.
And you got to see this guy how much he struggles.
Oh, it's just awful.
Like,
Yeah, he's
150.
like, whoa, what
150.
about straws? Don't we have a
Is it-
solution?
Oh my gosh.
What about
right
straws?
on.
Here he goes, here he
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you look like this guy.
Yeah. There he is. That was good timing. Wow, you like nailed it.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm doing.
Right there.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you,
Oh,
would you feel dumb using a straw in public? How about you use the adult version of a sippy cup?
Because this will make you look classier.
Come on, man. Come
I find this
on.
hilarious. This is absolutely something, though, that I would get somebody white
That you
elephant
hated.
gift.
Right,
No,
it's a
like
great
white
gag
elephant gift.
Yeah.
Stocking stuffer that you throw in there for somebody because it's like
As a joke.
as a joke, or again, just kind of like
Like a
liven up
gag.
that Christmas.
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean. You get them good stuff too, but yeah, that.
I would get
Yeah.
the STL for
Tongue
this.
gymnastics.
Oh my gosh.
So ridiculous.
This-
That's
oh,
a
your
phrase I
logo
did
here.
want to hear.
Oh,
You get Dice Towers.
Now
Tom.
we're in.
Tom, hold on, I need to email real quick. Wait, he's out of town. I need to email someone different then.
So ridiculous.
I know people have a
Right.
sense of humor when they make these things, but I can't gauge on this one. You know what I mean? It was about 7 or 8 years ago when mustaches were like the big thing.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
right.
huge.
They were
The little
printed-
pop, the sticks with the photo booths and.
Sure,
on
yeah.
wallets,
Oh,
you get
yeah,
wallets with little miniature,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
little mustaches printed on it. This feels like it's 8 years too late.
Maybe. I love
But the
this too.
technology just wasn't there 8 years ago. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
I would love to see a guy in a bar with a beer, like a cold glass with one of these on the top.
Hello.
You would like to see that?
Yes, to like actively make fun of him. Yes.
And then a guy breaks a cue stick in act. He's like, "Get out of my bar!"
I want to see the
love it.
straw
I love
drinking
it.
guy in a bar.
You do? Yeah, making
like-
that face at you.
I
Just
be
let him
like,
drink in a normal way.
Come on,
You
man.
just want to help him. Here, I'll hold the straw. You chase
Jeez,
it.
Tell
yeah,
your friends.
come
Just do that in
on.
public. That's how you make friends. All right? Advice from the Dice Tower.
Guy was an animal.
All right.
Life hacks.
No, he's not. He's a creative person with a million ideas. All right?
Oh, jeez.
Don't be mean.
All right.
Next up, canceled, unfortunately.
But I've been waiting for this.
Here's the thing. I have something to say on this. I think if this product right here was in IKEA, it would be in like every suburban household in America.
I don't disagree.
Right? Like this looks like an IKEA.
I don't want to back it,
No. But you
but
want.
if it was available right now, I might be like,
If it was an STL.
Here's the,
no, that's gross.
What about apple barrel paints?
here's the thing.
Apple barrel pains, boots with the fur.
I know, right?
As a guy, though, I've had so many times my wife's like, hey, go ahead and get you a piece of cake. And then she'll come back in and she's like, what did you do to the cake? And for some reason, it's really hard to get a piece out. I'm like, this is great.
No.
Has this ever happened to you?
Right.
They don't, see, this is where you need that
Just
video.
like that.
I mean,
I know.
to me, this is the equivalent of like the IKEA cheese grater that I absolutely love, and I've gone to IKEA twice to try and find, and I can't, and I'm absolutely heartbroken over it. This is the same kind of thing. It's going to be your friend has it, you see it, and you're like, where'd you get that? IKEA? Of course you did. Let me go pick up a calyx and a cake
Yeah.
cutter.
What's special
Calyx
about
on a
this
cake
cheese
cutter.
grater? Am I living
Oh my
with
gosh.
a substandard cheese
Oh my
grater?
gosh, this cheese grater, Chris. I'll send you an email about it. It's so good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Here's the
Absolutely.
thing about this. It definitely, and I think the reason why it maybe did fail. Well, A, it's a stupid idea, but it's funny.
All things being equal.
Okay, so people don't know what it is.
Here's the thing, though. It's also
Shove it
like,
in and squeeze it.
yeah, you shove it in, it cuts it, poof, and then you squeeze it, and you drop it on a plate,
No,
and
not
bam.
contact me.
The problem is, it feels like a first try at this idea.
Right.
Here's the reason for that. It's great to get that first slice out. It really is. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. The problem is it stops where the cake stops. There's nothing above that, which means you're going to get your fingers dirty on the outside with the rest of the cake,
Right.
right? You need to go, there needs to be a part that goes into the cake and a part above that you can press on and actually
what it did.
presses on the cake.
That's what it did, right? I
No,
thought it
they're
didn't
just
go all
pinching
the
a
way
piece
down.
of cardboard.
No, it did. Hold
Wait,
on.
you
Oh,
show-
yeah, she also shows her, what was the Irby rake?
Yeah,
that was her
their
first product.
previous
I loved
Kickstarter.
it.
Look,
Yeah, I'm looking.
So
Big
She's
old-
still talking.
so she doesn't
Here we go,
slide
here
it
we go.
out,
Here.
she
See, yeah, no, there's
squeezes
a, right there it is. It's above the cake, and there's a whole like little shelf. So your finger, like right there where that shelf is, below goes into the cake, unless she says no. And then above is where you
Oh.
squeeze.
kinda. Okay.
I only want half a
I'm coming
piece.
around.
All
on
right, all
the, I'm
right.
coming around on the carrot cake.
Okay, here's the actual cake. No.
The video could have
Yeah.
been better. Like it looks like you said, like a first draft. You know. And
Yeah, it was a lot of talking. I fast
I gotta
forwarded.
tell you, I would again if this was available right now at some sort of dollar store.
STL.
What about a $20 store though?
No,
Five
no.
below.
No.
Five Below you do, right?
Five Below thing,
This is a
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Or
Marshall.
IKEA. Best thing about the cheese grater, it's $6.99. It's
Also,
fantastic.
I'm about to open up a $20 store. That sounds
Yeah,
great.
$20 store, right?
This should
Yeah.
be a cheese grater also, if you put them together. How about that?
You want to grate your cake?
No.
You're an animal.
You can use this, like if on the side of this, one of the walls, there's a cheese grater.
So it grates the cake as you go in?
Man, it's cake. What are you worried about? You know what I mean? It's not gonna like make the cake leak or anything. It's
No,
fine.
then you're going to need like a mustacher to keep the cake as you're eating it.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the cinematic event of the summer. Crossover.
deal.
Oh, man.
But the last one, I'm sorry, do you have something to say? 'Cause we have one better than this, I
No,
think.
no, let's just move
We
on.
ready? 'Cause
Let's
okay,
move.
all right, if you have anything to say. If not,
So
we're going
excited
to
about this one.
Bugkiss. Bugkiss.
I'm really confounded by this, guys.
Yeah, well, apparently he is too. Did you read the page? Did you read? I don't. Okay, that's
I
not. Really,
did.
no. Did you read like?
Can you read,
No. Okay,
Garcia?
I realize how that
I've
came
been
out.
eating
It's not how I
cake.
mean.
I can't
You've been
read.
shredding your cake, grating your cake. No. So he even talks about this, like how it was a joke that he made, and then got all these emails. It was like, hey, we actually want it. So he did a Kickstarter for it, and I would think, oh no, he's just creating a story, but 868 people are getting it. So maybe people really did want this.
I just don't get how he makes. This is at $26,000.
Also, can we point out that the last two projects came from Florida?
I was actually mentioning that
not
to you,
good.
right? I'm like,
What,
yo,
really?
man.
Orlando. Where's Mustache? Oh, that's Canadian. That's fine. Good.
Oh.
This
getting
is
scared.
ridiculous right here. You got to show I mean,
Okay.
It's an
I'm
I
adult-
guess we
showing
have to
it.
show a video like
That
what it
one
is.
right there?
Oh, my.
Let's
It's him
fast forward.
kissing bugs, kissing bugs
a
with a
mini
little
kisser?
tiny, like, that's it. That's the thing. It's a thing you put in your mouth with a spring and small lips that you can kiss a bug with.
Do you think this is actually just his like way to recycle his kids' pacifiers?
That's really
Gross.
That's
disgusting.
what it is. That is like
it's-
babies. Like he's like, I don't know what to do with these. Hold
What
on,
is-
let me run a Kickstarter.
How do you make $26,000 doing this?
He's kissing mosquitoes. The thing is, I like to see him
They're
on a
kissing him
park,
back. So
running around chasing bugs with this.
Here's the one thing, though. He's pushing this, but if you read the whole page, did you read the whole page?
Can you read, Camilla?
no, I cannot read actually.
There's a book about bugs.
yeah.
Like, there's
that's
literature
right.
in here, and it makes a little more sense that he's selling the book. But then you get to that product
I love the packaging. This
and
is
the
like
packaging. Read
this-
the writing on this thing.
He's ready for the mass market. This is packaged and ready to go.
This looks
Oh, there's so many
like
jokes in here.
the Dollar Tree rejected it.
Yes, it does.
I'm going to be
It's-
selling these at my $20 store, though.
This has,
Also, Dr. Odom's.
has blister pack stuff.
Come on.
Oh, that's so
Oh, there's a
uncomfortable. Is
dead
that
one.
his face on a bee?
No, that's actually the king from Shrek.
Oh, that's true.
I kid you not.
That is. Oh, should
It's
we?
that character. Enjoy getting sued.
What? It is. It is.
It is
not
100%.
That's
It was
fantastic.
his
It's
name.
Farquaad.
Farquaad. Farquaad.
Now,
You can't do that, man. That's a copyrighted character.
the
Oof.
gag gift wise, what's the price on this?
Too much. $20.
20 bucks.
As coming soon to my $20 store, right?
Oof. Yeah. Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Oh, whoa. Is this the book
Just-
you were trying to sell me?
Yeah, it's literature.
Oh my gosh, their kissability score. It tells you that. What if you want to determine your own? You should be able to like rate your experience kissing these bugs.
Oh, I'm just.
All I know is I'm glad that this project is this week and not a week ago. Otherwise, it would have been on Brian's top 10 nature games list.
Oh my gosh, it would have
This is
been.
true.
Or Roy's top 10 nature experiences.
God gave man dominion on the earth, and this is what we've done with it. We're
He's a
kissing
TikToker. He
bugs.
does this- I think it's a joke. It's all a joke.
Yeah. Oh, he's a TikToker. Oh,
Yeah,
we
there's
just got
videos
called
of this on
old.
TikTok.
Fantastic.
TikToker.
All right.
But
All right.
people
So
are
those,
actually going to do. People are actually going to go pester bugs in nature.
that's
for
the thing.
this.
Pete is going to be all over this.
Bugs are going to be so embarrassed. They're going to be like, squish me or leave me alone. And I'm going to leave them alone, camp.
Oh, I'm
Just do
squishing them. Those mosquitoes are going down.
What's happening?
Well, that,
All right.
that I'm okay
What's
with.
TikTok?
It's where you shoot
Fuck
fish.
me.
Let's
All
move
right.
on.
Joey, pick of the week.
My pick of the week, I'm probably going to go to
Not probably. You have to make a decision.
Santorini. I went back and forth because I just love the look of this game. The minis are great. I love the original. And I'm just very hopeful about this style of game. It just looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So, yeah, that's my... As soon as it came out, I knew this was going to be my pick of the week.
Yeah. I think that cooperative mode might be what it takes to actually get me to play Santorini because I have so very...
Just look at that. It looks great.
Excitement about the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
The co-op. I mean the
regular, Santorini itself. Yeah.
Right.
It's like I'm so interested in it, and then I hear how
abstract strategy games, you don't really like that.
I'm like, co-op? Maybe.
Yep. Mine was almost Fractured Sky, but I think this is the one I'm going to stay with.
Very good. Very good pick. Well, you have 10,000 people behind you there.
Ooh.
All right, Z.
I'm going to go with that Nova Roma game.
That is also my pick of the week.
Wow.
So, I think. Go ahead. You want to talk about it?
I think it's just, again, I'm liking the designer's games, or I've liked his games in the past. I like that he's striving out doing his own thing now, and now this is, I want to say that Resurgence was the first, right? On his own kind of thing.
Yeah.
So second time out, he's keeping it going. It also looks interesting. I don't like this theme as much as I like the kind of post-apocalyptic vibe of the other one. That would have been cool too if he kept that theme. I just like that theme. But no, this looks like a whole new thing. And it looks well finalized. A lot of cool looking bits. Interesting, mechanically interesting. That looks great. Yeah, I want to try this out.
Really pretty thematic Euros. That's my jam.
Right.
That is absolutely my jam. So yeah, I'm excited about this one as well. So, all right, Chris.
I'm gonna go and do something kind of different. I'm gonna go with Fractured Sky. Like I really like the idea of another blind bidding-ish kind of game.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't gotten to try this one yet. You know, and so it's still a mystery. It's eluding me. Like I said,
I'd probably like it. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that mechanism so much of having a little bit of information, but you don't know exactly what, and so how much do you commit to these different areas? And what you were saying about kind of, you didn't win, you didn't get the starfall, the point, but like you get some compensation.
Right.
I like when games have a good method of compensation for not getting, for investing in something but not quite getting it. And yeah, it looks really good, so that that helps.
It has magnets. That really helps. And distinctive
Where's that
airships.
one part where the magnet?
Oh my gosh, hold up. Right here, I got it ready.
It did it again. Every time.
What was the thing?
It's crazy.
Hi!
Ooh.
I love it. It's so good.
Magnets. They
Look at that, you broke it.
I got
That's
so
a good
excited
one.
that happened. Sorry about that.
That's a good one.
One more time. Woo! Okay.
We can't even see it anymore, okay?
All right. So that's going to be it for us with the Crowdsurfing.
Yeah, that's it.
Do I say anything else?
Words of wisdom at the end, I guess. Don't harass bugs. Don't mess with the bugs, okay? Leave the bugs alone.
Grate your cake.
Except for the mosquitoes. Feel free to
Smush them.
nuke the mosquitoes.
Absolutely.
Okay?
There you go.
They don't deserve to live.
We'll be back tomorrow
All right.
morning.
That's right. Tomorrow morning we have the Smorgasbord. And then in the afternoon we have a top 10 coming up. Top 10 games I wish I had when I was a teenager with us three.
Yes.
I'm not in it.
No, that's an around you. Yep, us three. So yeah, be sure to check back in. And until then, I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Joy Evans.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Z Garcia.
Kiss the bugs.